direct your attention to the northeast corner of the end zone and welcome the defensive starters for the evening. Your first starter at the Lightning end. He's a senior.
So it's the start of a new season here at Viking Media, and we are proud to bring you the first home game and broadcast of the season as the Niles West Wolves take on the Niles North Vikings in the annual Skokie Skirmish. I'm Josh DeVera, along with my partner who plays baseball for the Niles North Vikings. Please welcome Chris Kensiora to the set.
How's it going, everybody?
All right. As the Vikings kick off their home schedule, they initially began the season with a road win against Al Raby and then encounter the Wolves here, back home at Chuck Pa Stadium. As expected, we have a full house tonight under the Friday night lights. Chris, how do you expect the Vikings to react to this atmosphere and to their opponent, Niles West?
Well, you know, they are a bit of a younger team, but coming off this win and with all the momentum, I think they'll be able to pull this off.
All right. Any predictions for this ball game, Chris?
I have the Vikings winning this one, actually, probably by a score. I'm going to say 24-7.
All right. Nice prediction. As for me, I think the Vikings will take this one narrowly, considering they defeated the Wolves, 21-10 last year, and given the new threats they acquired this season, I think the Vikings will take this one to start the year 2-0. The score, 28-17. All right, and Mr. Daniel Gregerman here introducing the lineups for your Niles North Vikings down on the field. Here they come. All right, guys, let's head down onto the field for the start of this rivalry game, the annual Skokie Skirmish, here on NN Viking Media. All right, Niles West will kick off to start this ball game. And there's a whistle on the field. There's a flag on the play.
Seems to be on the Wolves.
Yep.
As they are going to be backed up a little bit. False start.
Yep, and Pistorio definitely taking that penalty.
Yeah, the Vikings should be glad to see that, as that'll probably give them a nice little yard boost to start their first drive.
Yeah, field position ever so crucial in these matchups. Here comes Niles West to kick the ball. And he boots it high and deep down to the 25-yard line. Oh, and a huge return! He's gonna go to the house! What a way to start this ball game! This huge, intense rivalry game. Great job by this Niles North special teams. What a return!
Talk about an electric opening to start the game. Not even 20 seconds into this, and we already have a score.
Oh,
and you could clearly tell from the beginning that he had a good chance at getting to the house with the big gap created by the blockers on the return team.
all right, here's the PAT for the Vikings. The kick is up, and it is right down the middle. It's a good one for the Vikings. Man, what a return, Chris. Just an unbelievable display of speed and quickness. How'd you like that play?
Well, you talk about getting energy for a bench for a big game. Like, you cannot get any better. If you see players on the sideline right now, they are electric. And I'm sure that is giving this defense a lot of confidence, and this could set up to be a big game for the Vikings.
Yeah, most definitely a lightning quick score for your Vikings. And here comes the special teams unit for both of the teams. This time, Niles North will boot it towards the other end. Niles West looking to answer for a score of their own. 0-7 the score if you're just tuning in. I'm Josh DeVera and my partner Chris Kensiora in for this rivalry matchup between the Niles West Wolves and the Niles North Vikings. All right, the crowd pumped up and we're ready to kick this one off to Niles West, looking to answer. And there looks to be a scrum on the field. And a nice play there from the special teams of Niles North. And that'll start this Niles West drive in their own territory. That ball will be spotted at, let's say, the 33-yard line. 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Will Laud, the quarterback for the Niles West Wolves. And a nice play there by the Vikings.
A quick stop there by the Vikings keeps them within 3 yards.
The Wolves are in a 4 wide receiver set. 1 running back to the left of the quarterback, Will Laud. Nice throw and catch. That'll be a nice gain for the Wolves. That'll bring them closer to the first down marker.
Yeah, the Wolves receiver seemed to lose a little bit of his concentration there with that drop. Didn't seem to keep his eye on it as he tried to turn and make a play up the field.
All right, that'll bring up a 3rd down. Dropping back, looking for a man, and he scrambles out of the pocket, and he's going to be brought down by a host of Niles North defenders.
Well, the defense just swarmed past the offensive line and got pressure to the quarterback. Laud actually escaped that, but tried to make a run for the first down, but ended up fumbling the ball. And now it is a 4th and 5.
So 10-10 remaining in the first quarter. That'll bring up a 4th down and a punt for Niles West. That'll take a Niles West bounce and it'll trickle down to the 35-yard line of the Niles North Vikings.
Well, a quick stop right there for Niles North puts them in solid field position with an already early lead.
All right, and the defense coming up with a huge, much-needed stop, and we'll see if the Vikings can answer and further cushion their lead. The score right now 0-7, hoping to make it a 2-score game here for the Vikings, hoping to please their home crowd as well. A whiteout here at Niles North in the stands. Atmosphere definitely upped for this ball game, a rivalry matchup.
The crowd is roaring today with a big attendance.
Yeah, a nice output by this Vikings home fan.
There's a flag on the field.
There's a penalty on the play for the Vikings. Well, there was a flag on the field, but play will resume. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Dropping back, looking, and it's overthrown by just a tiny bit. Incomplete pass on the play.
They just missed a huge play right there. That could have been at least to get them probably to about the 30-yard line, if not taking it to the house.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to catch him in stride here, but unable to make the throw.
It seems there was a pass interference on the play.
Yeah, that'll put him up 15 yards. And so play will resume. From the 50-yard line, midfield, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. And it's going to be a run to the outside, tackled by a host of Niles West defenders.
Yeah, that play obviously didn't work out as planned for the Vikings. The West defense swooped the run and tackled them for a loss.
Yeah, Niles West definitely stingy on the defensive side. We'll see how Niles North will handle their play in this ball game. And that one is thrown over his head. Incomplete pass.
Pressure got to him there on the blitz as what seemed like the entire Niles West defensive line just got through right to the quarterback.
All right, that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Third and long.
Here's a snap by Bland. He's going to air it out. A nice spiral on that throw, but that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the Niles West cornerback was very well positioned on that play, as I'm not even sure if he saw where the ball was, but just his positioning was enough to keep the Vikings receiver from even being able to get there.
All right. That'll bring the punt team, it appears, for the Vikings on 4th down. They'll punt it away to Niles West. And Niles West hoping to take advantage of their defensive stop. Here's the punt. A nice boot. And that'll head out of bounds as the Vikings will head back on defense. Niles West hoping to score on this next possession. So, Chris, how do you envision this Niles West offense? How do you think they'll attack this Niles North defense?
Well, they saw how they played against the pass, and their run attempts weren't really successful on the last drive. So I think that they're going to go for more of a short to medium pass offense.
And you're right about that. A nice quick screen play to the wide receiver. And that'll be a stop for the Vikings.
Yeah, well, the Vikings had a feeling about this Niles West game plan for at least that first play, and they held them to a 1-yard gain.
All right, and that is going to be, a nice tackle there on the play. What a great hit there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like their Niles West receiver had a couple blocks going for him to get upfield, but number 10 of the Vikings just was able to get there and knock him down.
All right, here's a 3rd down, very crucial for the Wolves. Law drops back from the shotgun, throwing it, a deep throw, and he overshot everybody on that play. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 4th down, and the Niles West punt team will head back out onto the field for their 2nd punt of the ball game.
Yeah, this Vikings defense was able to get another nice stop and keep them from really even gaining any yards.
All right, that'll bring up a 4th down for the Wolves. The Vikings will receive the kick. That'll be Marcos Nateras, the punter for the Wolves, number 11. We'll see how far he can boot this one and give Niles West some much needed breathing room. Anyways, there's a penalty out on the field.
Doesn't seem like there was a penalty awarded on the play, as they had to switch out their long snapper apparently.
Yep, so no yardage tacked off there on Niles West's part. Here they are to punt it to Niles North. Here's the boot. Oh, and that's going to take a Niles North bounce. And that'll give Niles North some prime field position. As we preview this Niles North drive, Chris, who do you think they're going to go to on this drive? Running back, wide receivers, who is it?
Well, I think they should try and take a couple runs up the middle, as they hadn't really tried that on the previous drive. And who knows, they might be able to get through that defensive line for a couple of quick medium yard gains, then maybe set up a nice pass play to get him in some very good position.
Chris's advice to grab tiny little chunks, work their way up to the 1st down marker, and they're going to follow that advice. Oh, nice play call, Chris.
Thank you.
A nice play there. A nice run. More than they really needed on the play to get in position to pick up that 1st down. Really, really nice gain for this Vikings team.
I believe that is Jordan Jackson with the run. He's a very fast, very explosive player.
That'll be a 9-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. Bland, the quarterback, Christopher Bland, class of 2022, a sophomore. He's listed at 6 foot. So he's got some nice vision down the field. as you've seen with his previous pass attempts, really trying to work the deep end of the field.
Yeah, it's really good to have a quarterback with a big arm, as last year they ran a offense very centered around running the ball, so seeing a big arm is very refreshing for Niles North.
All right, they're going to run it up ahead once again. Patrick Pistorio hitting on all cylinders in these play calls.
Yeah, these little runs up the middle can be very, very dangerous with the Niles North backfield, as they are fast, they're explosive, and they're strong, and they can definitely get through those lines for some decent gains.
All right, that'll bring up a first down for your Vikings. Bland, the quarterback. And he's going to throw down the field. Looks like he's got a man open. Oh, a one-handed beauty.
That was an unbelievable grab.
Oh, my God. What a grab on that play. So your Niles North Vikings have scored another touchdown. That'll put him up by 13.
And talk about a perfectly placed pass by Chris Bland. Unbelievable, set him up perfectly. And then the one-handed snag to finish it off. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I really love the game plan there by Coach Pistorio. First two plays, they ran it right down the throat of this Niles West defense. And after that, they came up with a little trickery there. A huge deep throw made by Chris Bland, and the Vikings put 14 on the board already.
Like I said earlier, those little runs can set up some big plays.
Yeah. A great coaching output there by Coach Patrick Pistorio, establishing the run game first, and then once the defense anticipates the run, then he just throws it over their heads. Touchdown, Niles North. Hey, gotta say, I'm liking this new turf here at Niles North.
Yeah, it looks very nice, very clean, a bit softer than the old turf, and obviously new, so
yeah,
it's gotta be nice to play on.
Yeah, I was on that field earlier today. There had a lot of give, much more comfortable, and give a huge shout out to the athletic department and the Boosters Club, able to fund for better athletic facilities for this Niles North athletic department, especially this football team.
Outstanding work.
All right.
And
listen to this
flag
crowd.
thrown.
They're all amped up here at Niles North. Drum roll, and we are ready to kick this one off. Niles West to receive.
We have a flag on the play, actually.
Another flag. Niles West seems to be retreating. Looks like, yeah, they're going to place the ball 5 yards up.
Another penalty by the special teams against Niles West.
Yeah.
Is obviously making Coach Pistorio's day a little bit easier.
Coach Pistorio now in his second year, as he's looking for a huge improvement for this Vikings team. Here's the kick. It's a nice boot, end over end. Oh, it's a fumble. We'll see if Niles North falls on it. The ref's trying to clean up the scrum on the field at around the 25-yard line. Oh, and the Niles North Vikings have the football. Great defensive play there for the Vikings.
And talk about things going your way. We have a kick return for a touchdown, a one-handed snag for another touchdown, and now a fumble at about the Niles West 26 or so yard line. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Niles North now with the ball with 5:56 remaining in the first quarter. Gotta say, I originally predicted that this game will be narrow, but it appears that's not the case. Niles North putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, 14 points with still just under 6 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah. Great output here for this Niles North Viking squad. And it looks like there's a timeout on the field on Niles West. That'll be called by Niles West. And we'll take a short pause here.
This is a great time for Niles North to go over their game plan, as they really haven't been this deep into the field aside from when they were scoring. So
Yeah.
kind of get some play calls down, see what they're going to do with a little bit shorter yardage to go.
And we also have to acknowledge Niles North. They're playing lights out right now.
On both sides of the field, their defense has been stellar, just keeping Niles West from doing anything with the ball. And then their offense has been quite good, 1 for 2 with their drives, and they've been really lighting it up.
Yeah, not to mention their special teams is also getting in on the fun with that opening kick return for a touchdown. Anyways, here come the Niles North Vikings here. Or excuse me, Niles West Wolves on offense. Niles North is on defense. As they'll get set. Or excuse me, Niles North is on offense, rather. Ooh, a nice play there. Nice catch, diving catch.
The ball was
there.
actually dropped at the very end of the play.
All right, then in that case, that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, beautiful throw by Bland again. And I don't know what happened, if he just dropped it on the impact, but he had it there for a second.
Yeah, it looked like from this angle, he held on to that one, but ended up bobbling it at the end. That'll bring up second and 10 for the Vikes. Bland takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Oh, he loses the ball. It looks like he fell back onto it. We're not sure who has it yet.
Niles North
Niles
will
North.
retain possession. Yeah, it looked like a Niles West defender got their hand right in there and was able to just poke it out.
Good thing Niles North, especially a quarterback, Christopher Bland, able to jump back onto this one. Oh, a nice play. Oh, and a nice move. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Niles North.
There's a flag on the field. It looked like an illegal block, so this one might get called back.
All right. We'll see what the call is on the field. But a touchdown at the moment for Niles North. The refs are talking it over.
And it is going to be a penalty on Niles North. So we hate to be
Oh,
the bearers
that's going to
of
be
bad
taken
news.
back. Take those points off the board. That'll bring up a second and long for the Vikings. Crazy sequence of events. As the Vikings originally appeared to have a bit of a groove on that one, on that possession, but a dropped pass and a penalty brings up a unfavorable situation for the Vikings. Play resumes, and that's going to be a rather bad decision from Christopher Bland to backpedal on that play.
I'm a little bit surprised by that play call by Coach Pistorio, as that Chris Bland has obviously been slinging the ball quite well,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why they wouldn't want to take a chance at a nice play after just completing another great throw.
All right, the punt team is now on the field for Niles North, but a timeout called
by, I believe, Niles West.
Yeah, Niles West calling the timeout. They'll spend another timeout. That is their second of the ball game.
Yeah, they're really using up these timeouts early, which seems like not a terrible game plan at the moment, but if it's coming down to the end of it at the second quarter and they're coming up with a drive, they only have one timeout to work with. So we'll see how this turns out in the long run.
All right, so the punt team out for Niles North. They had really good field position though, but kind of wasted it there. Here's the kick. Niles West getting some pressure on that punt, but they're able to pin Niles West inside their 20-yard line. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, very solid punt right there. Seemed to almost have been able to take a Niles North bounce, but it ended up heading out of bounds.
All right, and here comes Niles West back out onto the field with a nice play there. Short gain of about 3 on the play.
Yeah, they tried to go with the play action there. They got a quick 5-yard gain right there, but nothing that completely fooled the Viking defense.
Yeah. It's kind of a win-win for both teams. Niles West able to get a few yards to work up to that first down marker. Niles North able to contain them for a short gain. Here's Jack Leon's now the quarterback. Number 4. Throwing, and it is going to be fumbled. And we'll see who has the ball.
Looks like Niles West fell on it, and it seemed, yep, they did.
All right, Niles West will recover the ball. That one was originally caught by Sean Holbrook, a wide receiver for Niles West.
Loss of 2 there. Shows how very dangerous this Niles North defense can be, even when the other offense looks like they have a good situation going for them.
Niles North definitely creating the plays, and those big-time plays eventually giving them the difference, the cushion here with 14 points on the table for Niles North. Here's the snap. And Leon's is scrambling. He gets hit from behind. Great play by the Niles North defense. They're going to come up with a sack here.
The ball was loose at the end, but they are going to say that he was down before the ball came out.
Well, even then, Niles West having some trouble in terms of ball security.
Indeed, and they are set pretty deep back in their own territory to punt. So if all goes correctly, Niles North should have some very good field position to start their next drive.
Niles North looking for some prime field position. Their returner right now, although you can't see him on the screen as of now. Ooh, nearly blocked. He was originally set at the 38-yard line. He'll take it from there. Great moves. Shifty. Oh my goodness, could he take this one to the house? He will! Touchdown, Niles North. What a play there from Niles North. That'll put 6 on the board for your Niles North Vikings.
We have a kick return touchdown, a punt return touchdown, and a one-handed grab to find the end zone today.
Unbelievable. What a great performance here from Niles North.
Especially by the special teams, really just showing what they can do.
Yeah, special teams unit for the Vikings hitting on all cylinders. 2 touchdowns on the day, a kick return and a punt return for the Vikings as they take the 20-0 lead, soon to be 21-0. If the kicker knocks in this extra point, and it's good. An extra point for the Vikings, and just an amazing play by the kick returner there. That'll put the Vikings up by 21.
Talk about explosive, and this crowd is erupting. They are loving this offensive, this overall beatdown that Niles North is putting on.
Here's Niles North to kick. All right, the band is now into it, making some noise. Here's the kick. Nifty return here. And he's pummeled by a gang tackle.
So not a bad return there by the Niles West returner, but the Niles North special teams was able to keep him within or at the 35, so no major damage is done.
All right, the Niles North defense is back out onto the field, looking for another stop here in this fantastic ball game, at least for Niles North. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Leon's the quarterback. Nice broken tackle, but still a gain of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 on the play.
Yeah, they tried a little jet sweep over there, and as it was proven unsuccessful with very short 3-yard gain.
All right, so Niles West looking to regroup. A quick out to the receiver, and he'll be brought down for a minimal gain. That is Miguel Picasso Marin, one of the wide receivers on the Niles West squad. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and medium. Oh, that one is way too high for the receiver, Lenny Yaris. The receiver for the Niles West Wolves, and they're going to be forced to punt it away.
Another good stop by the Niles North defense, able to keep them from even getting a 1st down today.
All right, Niles West to punt. Boy, have they been punting the entire ball game. No score yet from Niles West, as they're going to have to give it up to Niles North. Here's the kick. Oh, that one looked like an ugly punt. A line drive. However, it'll take a Niles West roll, and he'll down it at around the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was a very low, very shallow punt, but the roll on it that it got from it allowed it to place Niles North back at their own 30.
All right, Niles North in the huddle at their sideline, soon to come out on the field, possibly looking for another score here. It's now 1st and 10 for Chris Bland and the Vikings offense. Strong arm QB in the shotgun, definitely looking to pass here. Here we go. Crowd getting into it. Oh, he gets sacked. Did not see that play develop. And Chris Bland will be sacked on the play.
There was a lot of defensive pressure coming from that left side, or from that right side, and Bland, just looking to his left the whole time, had really no chance unless he got the ball off immediately.
And that mishap by the offensive line of the Niles North Vikings will lead to a 2nd down, but not until we take a break. It's the end of the quarter. The score here, 0-21. That'll end the 1st quarter. All right, guys, we're back on the air. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back on the stream. It's all right, guys, and we're ready to roll. So here's Niles West with the ball. They're in the shotgun. 3-4 wideouts with one running back. Next to Jack Leons, the quarterback. He takes the snap. It's a quick throw to the outside, and it's dropped. Could be a backwards pass, but they're going to rule it incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like they got a little bit nervous, and the receiver number 23 kind of just turned, saw the ball as it was coming at him, and tried to do about 3 things at once and ended up dropping the ball. Third and long.
All right, here's a snap. Oh, and a nice fake there by Leons. He gets a really nice gain. And how'd you like the read option there, Chris? What did he have to diagnose?
I thought it was very, very well played. It was a good fake, and he got some good yardage, made a couple nice moves behind a few very good blocks, but not necessarily the play to run on a 3rd and 18.
Yeah. That'll bring up 4th down for the Wolves. Oh, and now it goes way over his head, and Leons is going to have to pick it up and dive on it, slide on it at the Niles West Wolves territory. That one will be placed all the way back at their 43-yard line.
Yeah, nothing is going Niles West's way today. A few fumbles. They can't really having trouble stopping Niles North on defense and special teams, and then this errant snap is really just putting them in a terrible situation.
All right, since it was 4th down last play, the Vikings now have the ball. Chris Bland back in the shotgun. Man in motion. They fake the handoff. They get the defensive line to bite. And Bland is off to the races. One man to beat. And he lays the hammer on him too. And I liked the fact that Chris Bland never really shied away from the contact. Instead of heading out, he dishes out his own punishment. And he gets a nice gain.
Well, Chris Bland, a 3-sport athlete. Obviously, we've seen his arm earlier in the game. Now he gets a real chance to showcase his speed, and man, can he run as he gets a huge gain to put the Vikings in the red zone.
Hey, Chris, didn't he play baseball?
He does play baseball and basketball.
I mean, I know you played baseball. How'd you see his arm hold up there?
I mean, he has a very good arm, and especially just a sophomore right now, he's a very promising future for all 3 sports that he plays.
And we've seen that arm now on display as Chris Bland showcasing his arm strength, especially with that one-handed grab earlier in the first quarter to give the Vikings initially a 14-point lead. That lead has now increased to 28 points. Bland looking to the outside. Great route run and a huge score for the Niles North Vikings. That'll pad that lead up to 35 points. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, you can't ask for more out of that route running, and that throw was right on target, right on time. Perfect play by the Vikings to get the short score.
And that'll put this Vikings team up by 34 as of now. PAT will make it 35-0. Should he boot this one in? And that kick is good. A PAT on the board for the Vikings, and that'll give Niles West the ball.
35 minute with still 5 minutes to go in the first half. Really showing how how potent these Vikings can be when they're playing well.
Give a shout out to Emily Cavalieri in Florida, former student here.
All right. And here come the Niles North Vikings back out onto the field. But first, we'd like to give a shout out to Miss Emily Cavalieri. She was a former Viking media member here at Niles North, and she's watching right now. And we thank her for tuning in. We also thank all of you for tuning in and making this broadcast possible. Here's Niles North to kick it away. They'll put the tee at the 40 and boot it from there. 35-0 your score. Niles North a commanding lead over their rival Niles West. So as we take a pause from the action, Chris, how do you envision how the rest of the ball game will go for Niles West? Surely they're struggling, but can it really go down from here?
Well, I didn't expect this much of a lead from Niles North, especially this early in the game. So I don't know how much further downhill it can go for Niles West. So I'm sure they're going to try and maybe squeeze in a interesting play here and there and see what they can do to at least cut down on this deficit.
All right, here's the boot. Okay kick, takes it from his own 28, gets out to the 38-yard line, about a 10-yard return, and that'll put the Niles West Wolves back out onto the field. Chris Harris with the kick, end over end. He is the Niles North kicker, as he booted that one for a nice little gain, a nice little boot for Niles North, and that'll put Niles West in their own territory from their own 39. Leon's the quarterback. Takes the snap, looking left, throws left. Oh, a huge hit. Oh my God.
Wow, that was as well-timed a hit as we have seen today. Saw him about to catch the ball, knew he didn't really have much of a chance at an interception, so he decided, I'll take a nice little hack and jar it out.
Look at that reaction from this Niles North crowd. Very hostile, too, and I like that.
Yeah, the Niles West fans are
They're
quite
also
quiet on this Friday evening, as they haven't had much to cheer about.
Yeah. I mean, they're in every fan base, just like Niles West, they're hostile in their own right, but now there's really nothing to cheer for in terms of the Niles West fan base. So Niles West will try to recoup and regroup here on offense. False start called on Niles West. A mental lapse there for the Niles West offensive line.
That's yet another flag thrown for Niles West.
Penalties becoming a burden for the Wolves, and this time he takes a sack. Another loss of yards on consecutive instances for Niles West. Great sack there for the defensive line. And that'll bring up a third down for the Wolves. Rather, it is a second down for the Wolves. Leon's in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 2 in the slots. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself. And he's going to slide for a nice medium gain. Around 6 yards on that one. 5 to 6 yards.
Yeah, they've run this same little option play a couple times, and they've gotten some short to medium yardage on a few of them, but the field position that they've had has not been helping them out at all.
So, the Niles West Wolves looking to recover here in this next play. They got 4 wide receivers once again. Leon's in the shotgun. And a quick throw. They've been running these quick, rapid throws throughout the entirety of this ball game, but it doesn't seem to be breaking through this Niles North defense.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're super confident in their long throws today, and that has not been helping them out, really limiting them to short plays and short gains. And that combined with the dominance that this Niles North defense has displayed, not really even allowing them a first down, has been a brutal combination for the Wolves.
Most definitely, and as a result, like you just said, this outstanding defense once again forcing a Niles West punt. .2:17 remaining on the clock. Oh, and that one's going to go over his head. Oh, and a block from Niles North. Picked up. And could it be a score? We'll see the signal. It is a touchdown. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Special teams coming up huge for the Niles North Vikings. And boy, are they beating up little brother here. Niles West really confused on really what's been going on the entirety of this ball game. And Niles North coming up with a blocked punt, and they'll take it to the house for 6.
Yeah, this has been some unbelievable special teams, and a part of the game which can sometimes get really overlooked in football has been on full display tonight by the Niles North Vikings. Outstanding job by their special teams.
Yeah, great special teams play. 3 touchdowns on special teams. You normally don't see that happening in any level of football, whether it's high school or the pros. 3 touchdowns. Hat trick for the Wolves, or excuse me, the Vikings on special teams.
And it's only the first half.
Yeah, they could really run up the scoreboard here. 41-0 on the scoreboard, and Niles North really taking command of this lead.
Niles West is still in the huddle, as looks like they're just trying to regroup after all of this
madness,
all of these ongoings.
Chaos. And really a great output here from Niles North. What would you like to see from them duplicated in the future?
Well, this early offense has been unbelievable for them, and is obviously, as shown by the 42-0 lead with still 2 minutes left in the half. I think that these early blows can be brutal, but this defense has been really been able to put themselves in the spotlight today, not allowing Niles West to even get a first down today. Has been absolutely stellar for Niles North.
Yeah, outstanding play from the Niles North Vikings, and it's only the first half. Imagine the score 2 quarters from now.
Well, we'll see how Niles North wants to handle this. Maybe they may play very conservatively and just try to keep their lead and maybe put in some backups and some lower strings, but they also could just keep on adding and just keep on pounding with their lead.
Also, we'd like to thank the viewers, you guys, for tuning in to Viking Media. It's been a hell of a day here in preparation. Lots of stress, but we thank you guys for continuing to tune in and starting off this wonderful year here with us at Viking Media. Anyways, it takes a Niles West bounce. But it goes back to Niles North and they'll recover. Oh my goodness. Special teams on fire for Niles North. And just like they drew it up on the drawing board.
I can't even believe my eyes right now. This is unbelievable.
Wow.
Niles North has gotten everything to go their way today, and we cannot say the same for Niles West. Outstanding for Niles North.
Truly, what was it, a 25-yard offsides kick? Onside kick.
Yeah, I guess it was a little bit like a squib, I guess, but
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be an onside kick in which Niles North can recover the ball, but it happened that way. An absurd situation for both teams. Niles North coming out on top.
And I'm sure they'd like to at least add one more score for a little bit of a super cushion going into this second half. Still with about 1:30 left. They have plenty of time, especially considering they have 2 timeouts left. Or 1 timeout left.
Yeah, and Chris, would you consider, if you're Coach Patrick Pistorio, in the second half, would you at least discuss or consider putting out the second team offense out there? As Niles West comes up with a pick.
Yeah, I would keep everything in consideration right now, but
would you prioritize the development of the entirety of your roster, or do you just want to give these fans a show?
For the second half especially, I would say either way would go, but particularly I think especially with this cushioned of a lead, at least to start the second half, I would start mixing in my younger or less experienced guys, get them some playing time, get them some tick, so then when they end up being the starters, they have a little bit more of a insight and playing time and experience going into the season.
All right, Niles West will begin this drive with 1:07 left in the half. Ooh, a big hit there towards the end of the play. Laid the shoulder pad on him. And a nice gain for Niles West as they look to get things going. Not much going for them so far tonight. But a nice little gain there. And hopefully they could come up with something as they try to salvage the final minute of this first half.
Yeah, and if they're gonna try and make any big plays right now, this is the time to do it, especially down so much with only a little bit time left in the half. Nothing major can really happen at this point for them.
Well, it looks like there's a fumble, but they're gonna wave it off as an incomplete pass. The pass went forward from the line of scrimmage, so that'll end up as an incompletion. So as you look at this Niles North team, they have been dominating throughout this entire ball game. What do you expect from them after this brilliant performance? Remember last year, it was more of a contest with a 21-10 win against Niles West last year. This year they're putting the beating on them. What do you expect for Niles North's future towards the later half of the season?
Well, they already have momentum with a close win last week against Al Raby, and now if this one finishes as planned, I think that this momentum can really carry them till the end of the season if they do play their cards right.
And so that'll end the first half of this Skokie skirmish. I'm Josh Tavera and my partner,
Chris Kenziora.
And you're watching NN Viking Media. Niles North laying the beating on their little brother, Niles West. The score, 0-42.
Sassy Hamilton. to ladies mix. The Niles men's team is led by head coach Sean Washington and assistant coach Ryan Landry.
Very good.
And there you have it. Mike Eavesdrop. Thank you, ladies. Thank you all for supporting the Vikings and the football team tonight. And now, let's get ready for the 2019 Boys North Marching Show. This year, the marching band will be kicking off their show with hits from your favorite 90s boy band. $25 gift cards to Lil Niles. Nice try, maybe next time. Once again, congratulations. Thank you to Lil Niles for the sponsorship. We'll see everybody in 10 minutes for the second half of tonight's game.
For the first time this season, Chuck Paws Stadium is basking in the glow of Friday night lights. For the Skokie Skirmish, the Wolves hope to get their first win since 2017, while the Vikings look for their first win of the season. It's Niles North Vikings versus the Niles West Wolves right here on Viking Media, and what triumph for the white and purple so far.
Yeah, well, if you look at the screen right now, unbelievable. Look at the score. 0-42. The Vikings are laying the hammer on their rival, the Niles West Wolves. And if you look at the stats, just outstanding. 9-158 in terms of total yards, -3 rushing yards compared to 84 rushing yards between the Niles West Wolves and the Niles North Vikings. Just a complete onslaught, especially on that category. And most people underrate that category, rushing yards, but it's been proving dividends for the Niles North Vikings. They've actually scored a rushing touchdown in this ballgame to go along with those 42 points. So rushing yards, definitely a key factor. The Vikings completely outmatch the Wolves in terms of passing yards, and the Wolves have taken more sacks than the Vikings. So Vikings, they're off to a real good start.
Even down to special teams, the first play of the entire game, for those of us joining us in progress, ended with a touchdown for Niles North. So from the very beginning, Niles West had deflated morale.
All right, so that'll bring up a first down for the Niles West Wolves. The ball will be placed at the 33-yard line for the Wolves. And what are you looking for, Elliot, in terms of defense for the Niles North Vikings?
They can't do any better than how they've been doing for the start of this game. 0 touchdowns, that is what the Bears got last night against the Packers.
Yeah.
But Niles West hasn't gotten so much as a field goal.
Yeah, and Niles West, their offense is really struggling, as you guys saw earlier. The name of the game now in this modern day is passing yards. They've only collected 27 the entire half. So no wonder they've got that goose egg on the scoreboard with that 0-point total. Anyways, they picked up a nice gain on the previous play. And Leon's the quarterback passing it, which is caught by the Niles West receiver. That is number 6 on the play, Sean Holbrook, with a nice catch.
First-year coach Matt Hulse is on the field for Niles West. He's taking over a team that literally had no wins last season, so he will have a lot of work to do. In 2018, Jesse Pierce was the coach. 0-5 at home, 0-4 away. They had 3 shutouts, and 2 of those, the opponent scored over 50 points against Niles West. So this is a team that's been struggling at the bottom of the CSL South for a really long time.
Yeah, and Niles West definitely trying to look for somewhat of an identity. They've lost that over the years. In all honesty, just like Niles North has. But it seems like Niles North has found their identity early in this ball game. Here's a nice swing pass out to the outside. Leon's with another short completion. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5.
Second-year coach Pat Pistorio only has 3 wins so far at this school, but what he has done this season, we've seen, is give the Vikings a sense of purpose and a sense of confidence and swagger that this stadium hasn't seen since 2015 in the Igofsky era, when they made the playoffs that year with a winning record. It's been that long.
Yeah, what I love about this Niles North coaching staff, they're always player first. Really, they embrace the challenge of honing these players, as well as giving these fans a show. And Coach Patrick Pistorio, next in line as Niles North head football coach, definitely giving the fans a show here against their crosstown rival Niles West with a commanding 42-0 lead.
Yeah, Josh, we talked to him earlier in an interview this week, and you can tell he cares so much about
Yeah.
this team.
And he also cares so much about this fan base, wanting to give back to the community that has really given to him in the first place. Look at this new field. It's a dandy. Special thanks to the athletics department for this outstanding field. Really soft, cushiony, able to give both teams on the field a lot more player safety.
Josh, thank you for bringing up the field.
Yeah.
Do you know, I want you to guess, how much the field, the tennis courts, and the new track cost this year? Just try to guess.
Man, that's a tough one. I'm not good with figures. Come on, Elliot. All right. Ballpark, about... You're saying all of them, right?
Yeah.
I'd say around 500,000. Is that a good estimate?
A bit higher.
Really?
Yeah.
$500,000 not enough?
Want me to tell you?
All right.
I wouldn't have guessed this either.
Wait, hold on. 1.2 million.
You're so close.
Oh my
1.3.
Oh my God. Hey, that's close enough. Wait, it looks like Niles North will score a touchdown. Wow, that happened in a blink of an eye. A long run, but there is a flag on the field. There's a yellow flag on the field. Looks like a penalty. As we were having that wonderful conversation, Niles West interrupted us with a score here, apparently. Oh, it's on Niles West. It appears they're retreating back to the original line of scrimmage, and then some. All right, that will negate the score. So Niles North still keeping the shutout.
All day, Niles North has only had one score that has been taken away by a penalty, but Niles West needed that one.
And that will bring up another play for Niles West. One more play to determine the fate of this drive. And a nice catch. That time on the outside, ran a nice out route. Big gain, and he gets it past the first down sticks. So you said 1.3 million?
Yep.
That was the cost?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, I can't even... It's like my brain's turned to mush. Like, that number is way higher than I thought it would be. Man, that's unbelievable. Anyways, Niles West looking to capitalize on that recent first down play. He is wrestled down by the defense. That'll bring up second down.
Last year, Niles West averaged 7.2 points per game.
7.2. That's
Yeah.
not a lot. You know? I mean, it's definitely a challenge out there on the field for Niles West, you know, given the circumstances and how Niles North, their defense has played. Certainly given Niles West a lot of headaches. But right now, you know, they're hopeful. They're out in the red zone against this Niles North team. And hopefully they can come up with a score of some sort. Maybe a field goal, touchdown, anything.
Yeah, if they can't convert on this third down, then if I were Matt Holes, I would just call for a field goal so that they're not shut out.
All right. Yeah, definitely trying to save the image of the Wolves here. Hopefully coming away with a score. A read option on the play. Leon's getting pummeled by 3 Vikings defenders. Defense all over the field today. Very interesting to see this Niles North team pitch a shutout, especially since earlier I envisioned a very close game between these two teams, but the Niles North, this entire Niles North team showing that that is not to be the case. So Leon's in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off a spin. Nice spin there. and he's going to barrel into the end zone. And the Niles West stands are overjoyed, finally having something to cheer of. And it's going to be a touchdown on Niles West's part.
Last year, Niles West scored 10 points in this game, so that's not far off from what they've done so far. Niles North had 21.
Yeah, they doubled their score. Wow.
My goodness.
And this team, we've been watching them all throughout the entire ball game. This team has really surprised really everyone, including the people in the stands. You know, I was walking there during halftime in the stands, whereas it looks like the PAT is no good.
Oh my gosh.
And no roughing the kicker on that play.
It just didn't make it in.
Yeah, clean stop from Niles North. Man, special teams, I'd like to point that out. Huge factor in tonight's ball game. Just an unbelievable output by the special teams of Niles North. 3 touchdowns earlier in this game. They haven't scored any since, but early in the game they were just lights out. Very surprising to see from a squad like special teams.
That's true. That first touchdown on the first play, the return from Niles North, that reminded me of Brian Urlacher in the Super Bowl for the Bears all those years ago in Indianapolis.
You mean Devin Hester?
Devin Hester, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Devin Hester. Oh yeah, by the way, just like Devin Hester's opening kick return in the Super Bowl, we had an opening kick return here under the Friday Night Lights, so always nice to see an explosive play like that.
Devin Hester, Bears fans will bite my head off for mixing those two people up.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bears, man, they had an awful offensive output yesterday. I expected more out of them. You know?
Trubisky couldn't play in the preseason, so he was rusty, the Tribune was saying.
Yeah. And I feel like that comes down to the head coach, Matt Nagy. You know, but, you know, honestly, couldn't really foresee that happening, you know, Trubisky being that rusty. As the Bears last night scored less points than Niles West did today.
Ooh.
Yeah, Niles West scoring 2 times the points that the Bears scored. Did you know last night the Bears actually were outscored by the Cubs?
Wow.
The Cubs scored 10 points in a baseball game. Anyways, here's a huge return. And the fans, they're on their feet, especially the student section. Wow, what a night it is. Especially, with this student output. Normally you don't see too many students in a day-to-day basis, but this rivalry game, the Skokie Skirmish, has gotten everyone in the stands. It's put all of the butts in the seats.
That's true, and you lucky football fans get 2 big local rivalry games in 2 days. I don't know anything at the high school level that is like the Skokie Skirmish. Did you see all the T-shirts they were saying, Beat West, in the hallways?
They were selling those, and they were making bucks off of them. Like, man, these students really hungry for a dominant Niles North victory, and they're definitely, the Vikings at least, they're on the right track so far. Play will resume on the field. It looks like the second string quarterback is out on the field. That is Caleb Swanson, son of the athletic director here at Niles North, and I went to school with him.
Interesting.
Yeah. Same grade. You know, we always used to play, you know, during our recess time, we would used to play some backyard football, and, you know, he was lights out as usual in that game.
I bet.
Yeah. No, I loved every game playing with him. He was a true competitor. And he'll look to show it here. 1st and 10 as Niles North starts from midfield. Great field position from Niles North. They're looking to tack on another score here. 1st and 10. Caleb looks left. Oh, he is pummeled on that play. They're going to rule that a fumble. Unbelievable. And that, I'm pretty sure that's not Swanson's fault. The right tackle, the right side, protection, like, collapsed the moment he took the snap. If you're Caleb, what's going through your head right now?
I'm thinking that the Wolves need all the momentum they can get. I'm so sorry. Was Caleb the one?
Oh, Caleb was the quarterback who got sacked and fumbled the ball.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm thinking that this play, it couldn't change the whole game, but it could shift the momentum. And that's important. That's why that play was so crucial to him.
Yeah, and pass protection clearly broke down. I don't think it was his fault. Didn't really see the play on the right side of the offensive line develop, and he was sacked. And just a huge hit on the play. Props to the Niles West defensive line. All right, here come the Niles West Wolves, threatening once again. Last possession, they threatened, and they ended up with a touchdown. And they score on this play. Touchdown, Wolves, it appears.
The stands are basically silent on the Niles West side of the stadium right now. I'm trying to...
Oh, play will resume. The ball was stopped on the 3-yard line, it appears.
That was really close, but
Yeah,
they're
that
knocking
was
on the
close.
door.
All right, there you go. There's the score. Niles West fans have been looking for. Touchdown, Niles West. Well, I really admire, Niles West's, spirit. Usually, if you're getting pummeled 42-0, you would usually just your head would just be out of the game. But these guys have been battling throughout.
They're not giving up, and they're not letting Niles North control the second half the way they controlled the first. The Vikings came out swinging to start, and now the Wolves are slowing them down and slowing down the momentum.
Yeah, a comeback improbable here with 21 seconds left in the third quarter. They're definitely looking to fight here. And they do get the 2-point conversion as the Wolves now trail. Still a hefty margin, but 2 points less. I'm thinking it's a 28-point margin right now at the moment. Doing mental math in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time
42-14.
Time for more mental math.
All
so,
right.
the Vikings allowed an average of 42 points per game last year.
Yes.
That's what they've scored here today.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Like, all in one night.
All in one night.
That's spectacular. And, these Vikings fans, they've felt the electricity that's been going through this stadium the entire night. Just unbelievable. I never forecasted this coming. This was just a surprising output from this Niles North team. And, sitting up here in the booth, I'm very proud of Coach Patrick Pistorio and the job that he's done. When we talked to him, Pistorio, he had this, energy about him. I don't know how, considering they went 2-7 last year, but this guy had the energy. And it's just been radiating throughout this team and this community, as you can see in the stands. Great job by Coach Pistorio. Hopefully they hold on to this large margin, barring an improbable Niles West comeback. But Pistorio, the arrow's looking up for you.
He's already given this team 2 wins, which it was these 2 teams, Raby and Niles West, that they beat last year, but still, that's all the wins they had during the entire 2018 season. So I think he must be feeling very proud right now.
Yeah, and everyone in the stands would be too. There's a stoppage on the field. The ball on the 37-yard line. As the Vikings come back onto the field on offense.
So I know at the end of last season, the CSL South rankings had Niles North second to last, Wolves last with no wins, and now Niles North has switched divisions, so they're not going to play a lot of the lights out teams like Deerfield and New True as often. They will play Deerfield this year, but not as often as they used to. How do you think that will affect the Vikings this year?
You know, I really like the move. And although it won't do really well for, like, you know, a team's prestige or ego, but I like the decision because it really gives you a chance to actually develop these teams. You know, it's just like working out, you know, weightlifting. If you couldn't even lift a 10-pounder, why would you go for a 40-pounder? You know, it just kind of didn't make sense at the time, but I'm very happy, you know, with the realignment and moving back down. I just feel like these players will have a better chance to develop and face more even competition. And then as he recruits more players, you know, and, you know, really gets into the thick of things in terms of developing them, you know, I feel like this Niles North football team can become something special.
CSL President Chris Levantino agrees with you. He says, quote, "This realignment makes the league more competitive."
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. A nice run on the play for the Vikings. That'll make it second and medium. Second and about, I would say 5 on the play. Second and 5 and a foot.
So last week, we were talking about the Bears earlier. Mm-hmm. Last week, Niles North beat Raby 6-7. The Chicago Bears had given Raby for their 100th season 100 pairs of free football cleats.
Oh, okay. That's a nice community. That's nice community service from the Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
definitely helping out one of the schools that are actually on the Niles North schedule, who we happened to beat last time out, last Friday. Another run by Jordan Jackson on the previous play gets Niles North a first down. Here's Swanson out on the field, the second string quarterback. Swanson reading the defense. And he's going to hand it off. Jackson gets to the outside. Oh, nice move. He's just barreling down the Niles West defense. Great gain. And a first down for your Vikings.
He stayed on his feet longer than Niles West expected.
Yeah, longer than everyone in the stadium expected. And a substitution out on the field. Jordan Jackson will step out, take a breather. Well-deserved one, too, after that wonderful run. And that'll bring up first and 10 for the Vikings. Caleb Swanson and this Niles North offense rolling, as they have been the entire game.
Niles West lost their season opener 43-0 against De La Salle. They were one of the NBC teams of the year last year, so they're
very tough,
reputable.
Yeah, De La Salle, very prestigious too. I've been hearing about them these past few years. Here's a run to the outside. Very nice run. Nice stutter step to pick up the first down. And that is Giovanni Millen-Pryor, running back for the Vikings, second stringer. And we talked about this earlier with the previous commentator, Chris Kinciora. And also, guys, if you're not aware, Elliot Parrish has joined us out on the booth for the second half. He's going to be dealing with color commentator duties.
Great to
Elliot
be
Parrish.
here.
Yeah. And so, as I was saying, I was talking earlier about, this team with Chris. And, he's been saying that this arrow has really gone up for the Niles North Vikings. And we also talked about, a halftime decision on whether Pistorio should play his second stringers. Well, that decision is paying dividends for him as Giovanni Millen Pryor, the second stringer running back, gets a really nice gain. And first down, it appears.
William Pryor is also on the basketball team, which regularly goes to the playoffs here. I think he wants to transfer some of that energy to this team.
Very good. And his athleticism, it really surprised me because he's really small. Like I've seen him in person. And his athleticism is very good. He's very compact. He has a low center of gravity, meaning that he's very shifty. He has great agility, and just very good gem, great gem on Patrick Pistorio's team. It's now Niles North attacking in the red zone.
North has 3 basketball stalwarts on their team. Lennox Monroe, Giovanni William Pryor, and Jalen Butler.
And a move, and a cutback, and a touchdown. Justin Jackson with the score, and that's going to give this Vikings team a larger cushion. Not that they need a larger cushion, because their defense is holding up pretty well, but you'll take what you can get, and the Vikings did get that touchdown. Jordan Jackson with another touchdown in the game.
Just another feather to stuff that cushion, make it even more fluffy.
Yeah. Things definitely looking up for this Niles North team as they get set to kick the PAT. Jordan Jackson is a beast at the running back position. Just an amazing running back to have on the team. He's very compact, and he can break a ton of tackles. It kind of reminds me of David Montgomery, the new Bears draft pick this year. Very, very great at breaking tackles. Very adept and very agile as well. And not to mention, he's bigger than most running backs. You see most running backs right now, they're around 5'10", I would say, is the average. And, Jordan Jackson tops that at 6'2", but he's really muscular and he could break those tackles. Just amazing.
Football being tall never hurts.
Yeah. So if you guys are just tuning in, Jordan Jackson, the running back, 6'2", what a beast. He scores great agile play with a cutback. Went one way, went to the other, and he found an open lane for a touchdown. And the score is now 49-14. Vikings putting a beating on Niles West.
Right now, Niles West is 326th in the state. North is 259th. I think North is going to move up in the state, national, and conference rank, most importantly, after this game.
Yeah, I mean, with this performance, you gotta move up. There's nowhere to go but up for this Vikings team. And
they're soaring.
Yeah. Great field position, by the way, for Niles West. They take it up to the 32. Very ideal field position for them. A nice tackle there for special teams. And the defense for Niles North once again comes out onto the field. And Niles North, speaking of, you know, their defense, as I was talking about them earlier, they're coming onto the field right now. What do you expect from them now? Do you think that their mindset will be diminished after this large of a cushion, or do you think they're gonna keep focused? And Patrick Pistorio, will he keep them in this game?
14 points is not a dormant offense. The Vikings have seen what Niles West can do with the ball in their hands, so they're going to have a heightened sense of urgency to stop them and to keep Niles North up.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen from Niles West this ball game, they like to throw horizontally rather than vertically, as opposed to Niles North and Chris Bland. He loves to throw deep vertically, but Niles West loves to throw horizontally. Hit those quick screens left and right. But I feel like Coach Pistorio has done a great job, a tremendous job, of really adjusting to the style of play of this Niles West offense.
North has been more effective. Last year they scored 6.6 more points on average than their rival, taking the longer shots down the field.
Yeah, and this rivalry, it's been a very storied rivalry, but this, performance from both teams, if you look at both teams, it's really not, a characteristic of the Skokie skirmish. Normally you see these tight games, just like last year. It wasn't as, opened up as this game. It wasn't as blown up as this game is. Last year, the Niles North Vikings defeated the Niles West Wolves by a score of 21-10. That happened last year. We were on the road, and we ended up defeating the Niles West Wolves. And this score right now, not really a characteristic of the Skokie skirmish. What a blowout.
That's true. Out of the last 5 years, well, out of the last decade, let's go bigger.
All right.
This game has been close. Niles North has won 5 of the games, and West has won 4. So it could have been tied tonight.
Yeah. Very, very, competitive series. As Niles North fans, as well as the Niles West fans, we always love a good rivalry. And this year is no exception, but, the score really tells the tale here. Not really a close game, and it's not like with this score, a one play made the difference, It was pretty much an accumulation of plays from the Niles North special teams, which has surprised us tonight, as well as Niles North stifling defense. And so we'll take a short pause here in the action. Don't worry, guys, we won't go anywhere. But just a stoppage, of play here on the field, as Niles West gets ready to bring out their offense on the field.
The thing is, Niles North, their team and their fans know what it's like to lose by a big margin. 2 weeks of last year, one, they lost by 55 points to Rolling Meadows, and the next week by 41 points to GBS. Only 2 victories last year. They know what it's like to lose big, and this year they're saying, in this game, that's not going to be us.
Yes, and I love that you brought that up. I really love the energy that's coming out from this Niles North team. For so many years, they've pretty much been the laughingstock of the CSL, I believe North, right? CSL
now it's North.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then CSL South. But, Coach Patrick Pistorio, he's really turned this thing around, especially tonight. No one expected a Niles North victory just like this. 14-49 with 37 seconds to go. That's pretty much the ball game. But you know, I really believe in this team. I really do. Patrick Pistori has done a great job. You know, talking to him was amazing, and he's really turned the program as well as the culture around.
As well as this rivalry. More recently, out of the last 5 years, Niles North has won this game 4 times, and now they've added another victory to that record book.
Yep, and that's going to do it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure having you guys on board with us, and hopefully you guys like the result and a very, very great performance from your Niles North Vikings. The final score, Niles North 49, Niles West 14 in the annual Skokie Skirmish. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to Viking Media, and you know, through the thick and the thin, you guys have always been with us, and we really appreciate it and all that you've done for us. And for the entirety of Viking Media, I'm Josh DeVera.
I'm Elliot Parrish.
And we'll see you next time on our next broadcast on NN Viking Media.